Okay, so I'm excited about today.
Yes.
It's always like, oh, okay. Today we're talking to Bami Kuteyi. Bami is a young, fearless entrepreneur, having founded international brand Bam Bam Boogie when she was only 22 years old. Since then, she left her full-time job at Google and she's gone on to focus on creating a more inclusive world through fun, fearless fitness. I like that alliteration.
Yeah, I like it.
Fun, fearless fitness.
Come
You know
on.
what I mean? She aims to transform the way that people feel about their bodies and minds. She shared her story with over 17,000 people around the world through fun, engaging, and motivating talks. She's a Prince's Trust Young Ambassador. She's launched the UK's first twerk app. Listen, the twerking levels.
Yes. Oh, come on.
And she's worked with some of the top companies in the world, including Facebook, Marvel, Google, Nike, and more. Woo. Bami, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Nice. So look, today we're going to chat, chill. So we're gonna chop. We're gonna talk about some things about food and things that nourish you. Then we're gonna chat. We know we've got a special topic to introduce to us all, and then we're gonna chill. We're gonna talk about some culture, some music,
Cool.
that sort of thing.
Vibes.
Yeah, let's go.
So, if you were cooking for one of your heroes, who would you cook for? You see her face is dropping. She's like, what would you cook for them and why? So, who would you cook for? What are you cooking and why?
I really hope my family or my sister doesn't see this video because she's going to be like, girl, you can't cook. You better order something from Uber Eats. You better order something, sis. Okay.
Well, maybe we could pretend you had culinary skills.
What are you ordering for delivery for your
Okay. So my guest would be Michelle Obama, obviously, and I would love to cook for her some Nigerian food. So I might ask my mum for help, but then I'll serve it. It would be jollof rice with plantain on the side. And I don't eat meat, but I would definitely cook her some chicken as well, some well-seasoned chicken to go with that.
Why Michelle?
I just think she's so inspirational. I've always loved her being she is our first lady. There's no other first lady apart from Michelle. But I read her book Becoming and I read it through Audible. So I would just have her traveling with me every day. And I just felt like her story was so inspirational, showing that you can literally come from nothing and become something so incredible. And it was just, I just really connected with her story and I was really inspired by her. And ever since then, I've just really loved everything that she stood for.
Yeah, no, she's super cool. I think it's so amazing for someone to, it's not seen as the most prominent position, right? Obviously, the president is, but she really with what she how she's recognized. I just love it. She just completely bossed the role. I know. I think almost transformed what that position was. And just
it's kind of instead of just being the president's wife, it's I am the first lady.
Separate, put some respect on her name, and I love
110%. So if you were a dish, what would you be?
A dish, a food dish, or a bowl, or a piece of cutlery. Or you mean a dish?
I'm actually a tapas plate. I'm a knife. I'm a fork.
Holland's glass.
A food dish.
If I could be any food dish, what would I be? This is gonna sound super basic, guys, but I would be avocado on toast. You know why? Because not only is it so tasty, it has a huge markup, huge profit margin on some avocado and toast. So I would definitely be avocado and toast. It's simple, easy. Everyone loves avocado. If you don't love avocado, then honestly, I don't even know what to tell you.
You don't like avocado.
You don't like avocado if he doesn't like avocado.
Don't end. Don't end.
She's I'm actually gonna go. Bye. No, I don't. I can eat it with lots of other things. When I see people just, oh god.
Yeah, I'm not.
But also, I really think smashed avocado on toast is just overrated. I'm a steak. I take beans on toast every day. Listen.
Over avocado toast.
I said it.
Level up. Level up.
I thought we were going to start raw.
I'm going to leave you guys to just do this. But I wanted to know, when you have your avo on toast, do you like season up your avocado at all, or like do you do anything to it, or you just like straight out like put it on? How do you do it?
No, you've got to make it into like a little guac thing. Like put some onions, put some seasoning, some tomatoes. Some little, you got to spice it up a little bit. Some rye bread.
Little sorbet. Okay, yeah. Cool. So, you had something that you wanted to chat about. I think the topic was manifesting.
Yes.
So just wanted to understand, like, for people who may not know, like, what is manifesting, and like, I suppose, why is it important to you?
Mm-hmm. I feel like people ask this all the time because, especially, I'd say in like the last 3-4 years, words like manifesting and meditating and all that has become like really big on social media, and everyone's talking about manifest this, manifest that. But a lot of people don't actually understand what it is. So manifesting is pretty much the principle of bringing something towards you. So it's part of like that law of attraction, like attracting something towards you, believe in it, seeing it, and then seeing it come to fruition in real life. So say, for example, your restaurant, Chuku's restaurant, maybe before you actually got the restaurant, you kind of envisioned what it was going to look like, how it was going to feel like when you're in that space. And then when it came to reality, you manifested the restaurant. Obviously, you still have to do work like to get to that point, but it's about like really feeling it and understanding exactly how you want to feel when you receive whatever it is that you're trying to manifest.
I actually just in your explanation, I just want to touch on what you said about the doing work, because I think sometimes it's spoken about as if like, oh, I'm going to manifest my success. I'm just going to like sit here each day and say, oh, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be successful. But you mentioned the work. So can you talk a bit more maybe about the process?
Mm-hmm. So I'd say always the first step of manifestation is like understanding exactly what it is that you want, because I've been in, and being very specific and intentional with it, because I've been in situations before when I've been a bit too broad with what I've been trying to manifest, and it's come to me, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I'm like, oh, I didn't want it like this. Like, say, for example, I was trying to manifest in 2020 living alone. And then what happened was the pandemic hit, and my roommate, shout out Marta, she was in South Africa at the time. So then I ended up living alone for like 3-4 months, but that wasn't the way I wanted to live alone, right? So it was like, I needed to be a bit more specific in the manifestation, the way that I wanted to live alone and like the way that I wanted to manifest in my life. But yeah, so back to actually doing the work to manifest. So first step is you to envision and understand exactly what you want. Then you really have to take the time to like write down steps about how you're actually going to get there. So that's where the work comes in. So you visualize it, that's like the higher level stuff. But then to bring it into reality, you do actually have to map out a plan and do work to bring that manifestation to life. So once you've written down the steps, then you can start attracting those things towards you based on the steps. So say, for example, for me to move out, I would have to save 20 grand, for example. If I knew that was one of my steps for manifesting, then I would spend time meditating every day and visualizing money coming towards me. Like, okay, I'm going to make 10 grand this month. I'm going to make 15 grand this month and say 5 grand. So really just bringing that and attracting those things towards you, not only the things, but also the people who will support you getting there. So say if I wanted to make 10K a month, it's also me attracting opportunities and people in my life who are going to connect me to others who are going to help me make that. And then actually when you've gone through the steps and you're able to physically see the manifestation, it's when it comes to fruition, is like actually you reach that goal and it's like, oh, I manifested this from the beginning because you visualized it, put it on a vision board, but then you did the work to help it come to fruition. Does that make sense?
It does. So that like a lot of things will like pinging up in my mind. I think there's, I'm just going to say 2 questions. So
He
like,
always does this.
Yeah. Because a lot of things come into my head at once.
Yeah.
So the first one is like, when did this like penny drop, I suppose, for you, or like, when you went, you know what, actually this thing is what I need to do, and when you realized it was actually working. And then the actual second question, that was just like first question, part A, part B. The following question is like, how does this differ from like maybe something like prayer that people something like that?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll start with the first part. So when did the penny drop? So actually, when I was younger, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, when I was younger, I used to think that I had like superpowers because I would think about certain things like a lot. Like I'd really think, say like fish and chips, for example. I'd be thinking about fish and chips a lot, like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like I just feel like I want to eat fish and chips or it's going to come towards me. When you're a child, you can't just walk to the shop and go buy fish and chips. And then it would be like the next week, mum would be like, we're getting fish and chips this week or something. And I'd be like, hey, I was just thinking about fish and chips. Like, how did she know? Was she in my mind? So I was like, okay. And then as I got older and I started to understand a bit more about things like vision boards and listening to talks by people like Oprah and really inspirational people on YouTube, I realized that, oh, this is a real thing. Like law of attraction is actually a thing. Like when you focus your mind on something and truly think about it and you see it in front of you every day, it's inevitable that it's going to come towards you because you're focusing on the things that you want, not the things that you don't want. So that's kind of when the penny dropped for me. And then it was last year or 2 years ago, I think, actually, 2 years ago, I did my very first vision board workshop. And I realized that by like 7 months into the year, I had done pretty much everything on the vision board. And the way that it had manifested itself looked very similar to the pictures that I put on the board. And that's when I was like, no, I have to tell everyone in my community about this because it's real. It actually works and it makes sense. Even if when you're doing the vision board and you're setting your intentions, you're not sure how it's going to manifest. You just put like, say I put 50,000 on the board, for example. I don't know how it's going to manifest, what that means. Hopefully it means I'm going to be 50,000 plus, not 50,000 negative, but it's like you're still attracting that towards you. And then the second part of your question was around how is it different from prayer? To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it's probably very similar to prayer, but prayer I'd say is more like religious. You're praying to a God or a higher power for something, but then manifestation is a bit more like intentional because you're creating a space and putting things around you that are constantly reminding you of those things. Whereas when you pray, well, when I pray anyway, it's kind of like I just pray and then like I've moved on, you know, it's not like I'm putting all my prayers around my space to see it regularly. That's the way I see the difference, but yeah.
So I'm just loving it because I'm thinking about when I did this vision board a couple years ago now. I didn't do one this year, but it was quite surreal when that year I set intentions and like certain things started happening. And I think it's funny when you said, "Oh, America and I must have done that with the restaurant," because we did. There was even let's talk about the headline that we created. Yeah. So we created this put this together on our board like a pitch saying like, oh, we imagined the Evening Standard headline. So the day we were actually
there was a day.
Yeah.
There was a day.
And so the day we were actually on the Evening Standard headline, it was just a couple years out, but the date was very similar.
So obviously it took a lot longer to get there, but the actual date, as in it being in February, was that day. And also like you could see that the headline wasn't there, but you could see the kind of the sentiment was very similar. And yeah, it was the Evening Standard that we said.
Yeah,
no. Now you've been in there so many times.
It was so kind of surreal. You mentioned sort of like manifesting, bringing things to you, and I just wanted to, I guess, probe your mind. Do you think it's a case of we actually bring things to us when we manifest them, or is it that in focusing on something so much, we actually change our outlook on things? So then maybe before you're on the tube and you don't notice that guy, but this time you do, and that's the guy that connects you to the person. Because do you think that like priming is that thing?
I just want to hear the question again because I was just thinking like hear the question again.
So basically I was asking rather, I don't know what I think about this, I'm thinking it at the same time. Mm-hmm. When you mentioned about manifesting, you spoke about it bringing things towards you, but then you also mentioned you think about something a lot. And I was wondering, is it that actually when we manifest, we bring things towards us, or are we actually changing our minds, like almost changing our mindset and perceptions that we actually start to see the opportunity? So maybe things didn't actually change, but we start to notice things differently that then bring the things that we want to us. Mm-hmm. And I'm still thinking about that, but you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I feel like it's a mix of both because people always say like, oh, if you're dreaming of buying a Tesla or you want a red car or you buy a red car, then suddenly you start noticing more red cars. Like that makes sense in the sense whereby like, if I want to make more money or I start seeing people who make more money and I want to go towards them. But then at the same time, I feel like there's something so interesting about manifesting that things will just come towards you when your mind is focused on it more. That's the way I see it most of the time. I've seen it manifest for me because, say for example, on my vision board, I'm looking at it right now in the corner, is I put billionaire on the board. I didn't know why I put billionaire. I just feel like I have billionaire energy, so I should be around billionaires. And then it was, I think I did that in January. Then in February, I met Sheryl Sandberg, COO from Facebook, and she is a billionaire. And I've never met a billionaire before. So I was like, whoa, that was quick. Like suddenly I'm getting billionaire energy, twerking with a billionaire. Like clearly that was like, that attracted towards me because my mindset was clearly focused on that word billionaire. So I feel like for me personally, I've seen it come attracted towards me more. But however, I am noticing that some things that I do want to manifest, I'll start seeing them around more, but I feel like they still come towards me rather than me seeking them out. But it just changed your mindset too. So maybe I don't even notice that I'm subconsciously emitting certain vibes that attract certain people towards me to help me get to a certain goal.
I wanted to just build in on that, I suppose, the change of the mind. The word you kind of mentioned a number of times is focus. And it's especially when I read a lot around these sorts of topics, especially in like sport and people trying to have a trigger so that they can focus more. And I was wondering, like, do you have like a sort of any sort of ritual where you're trying to like get into that meditative or manifestation of like high level of focus state that a couple of steps that you go boom, because I was listening to a podcast and the guy was like, I do it even like when you're trying to do certain things, because so like have a trigger word like concentrate or focus, and you just like zone in, and at the same time, do you feel that like having been working on like manifestation and thus trying to focus on something more intently, that you've been able to be able to focus or concentrate for like longer periods of time on specific like goals, or just like maybe just doing a task and you're able to just like zone in on that?
Emeka, you're always doubling up your questions.
Sorry,
I should have told you. I should have told you. I can only
listen,
much information
I'm super intense. I'm super intense.
Okay,
I'm actually zoned. I'm zoned in.
Break it down for me.
So we'll do first question, and I'll remember the second question because I have one that links to it. So first question is. First question is. No, I've got it. Tag me back in. First question was essentially trigger. Do you have a trigger, something, a ritual, a mantra, something that brings you back to that state, or that brings you into that state that you feel you need to be in to focus or to get to that higher level of like manifestation?
Yeah, I know what I know the next question I'll ask it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. I'll hold it.
Thanks, Iffy. So it's like high vibrational music. So I need to play that high vibrational. There's a certain hertz number, I can't remember off the top of my head, that brings you to like a higher vibrational state. I need to listen to that music, and I need to get out my journal, pen to paper, to literally just get myself in that mindset to remember exactly what I'm trying to do and why I'm trying to do it. Literally just sitting there. It could even be just for 5 minutes to just get me in that state of focus. And then I'm able to get back into that right mindset. Because sometimes I feel like, especially during the pandemic, like I was just kind of going off track with where I wanted to be. Like I forgot the things that I wanted to manifest because we got so caught up in this online space, right? We're all on Instagram or Facebook all the time. We're always tuning into Boris Trudeau's updates all the time, that sometimes your mind can be filled and you can forget what you started the year intentionally wanting to manifest. So yeah, it was literally blasting that music, meditating, writing things down. I love any type of music too. So sometimes I need some dance. So I need to wake up to Vibes Cartel. I need to wind my waistline and just release and move my body. And that really helps me to kind of like ground myself and center myself and get my head back in the game. That's my trigger. I don't have any specific words though that I would use to help me get back in focus.
So yeah, that's super interesting. I mean, how you get into your high vibrancy state. Like, do you? My second question was, do you now find it easier to return back to that kind of meditative state, or when you desire to be in that state, like, do you find it easier to get into it and stay in it? Now you've been kind of like practicing manifestation for like a couple of years.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier to get back into the state because I've just been practicing it for so long. So before, when it used to take me like 10, 15 minutes, now within like 5 minutes, I'm able to get back into that zone. But it's tricky sometimes because what will happen is, because I'm so like higher level vibrational, sometimes I'll actually be like in the real world having a conversation. It's almost like that's so Raven. And suddenly I'm there thinking about something and I'm like here trying to manifest. And it's like, no, Bam, you need to focus on what's happening right now. So people will think that I just zone out, but no, I'm just going to a different state of mind.
And just one more question on manifesting. I think when you spoke about, for example, meeting Sheryl Sandberg, you're saying, oh, that happened quicker maybe than you anticipated. For someone who's maybe listening to this but struggles with impatience, how do you think time and patience fits with like manifesting?
Yeah, just like when you both mentioned about your manifesting with the manifesting the headline, sometimes things are going to come to you way after you may have imagined them coming, and you just have to stay consistent. And even if you have a vision board and then 1 year nothing comes to fruition, you have to be consistent and remembering yourself, okay, how, like, why did these things come to fruition? Was it something that I did? Did I actually do the next steps and like write a list and journal every day? Usually it's something wrong with you, not necessarily what you're trying to manifest. Usually there's a disjunction. I like to explain it whereby you're trying to tune into channel Kiss 100 on the radio, but you're tuned into 97.3. Like, you're never going to be able to reach channel 100 if you're tuned into the wrong station. Like, you have to be in the right station to be able to manifest what you want.
Yeah. I think that's really, important, kind of like just what you were saying before about the amount of things that other things that we're tuning into. You talked about, like, the social media and stuff. And actually, if you want to get to where you're going to, you need to really make sure you're dialed into like your correct frequency. Otherwise, we're living on the frequency of argument.
I think there's also I also sometimes think, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, your perception of yourself is sometimes maybe greater than the reality. So you're like, maybe like a billionaire. I want to be a billionaire. I can handle it now. Maybe if actually someone gave you £1 billion, you can't handle it. And similarly with the restaurant, I remember I wanted it so much earlier than when we got it. But actually now when I look at it, I think at the time we got it, I'm actually probably in a better state to make more of a success of it. And so I think it was interesting you said about maybe sometimes you're not on the right frequency, or maybe you're not actually in the right state. There's some other level of preparedness that you need to do. Preparedness? Is that a word?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, it's a word. I like completely.
Preparation that you need to do.
I definitely had to think. I was like,
I don't know. My teachers are like, everyone like, preparation that maybe you need to do to be able to have that thing come to you, basically. And should we chill?
Yeah, of course.
Let's chill, everybody.
Okay, so so I'm thinking, I already know I'm going to get a juicy answer to this. If you could be in any girl band or any solo artist, who would you be and why?
Oh, if I could be in any girl band or any solo artist, first of all, I need to be a solo artist. I'm the star of the show. So just like Beyonce went solo, I would have gone solo. So I would 100% be Spice. Okay, Spice.
Yes.
Land. She's a dancehall artist from Jamaica. If you don't know Spice, like, check out Spice Dancehall. Just Google it. She is incredible. She is the definition of a fearless female, and she's a mother, and she just kills everything that she does. I love her confidence and the way that she just stands for female empowerment and just being sexually liberated. So I would definitely be Spice.
Nice.
If for someone who's not familiar with Spice, is there any particular song that you're going to send them to?
Yes, I'll give you a slight rendition now. You're getting so far. So Me Like It by Spice.
Okay.
not on the Chuku playlist.
I remember doing this song with you in twerk class. And that I don't
if they get right now. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but we keep the Chuku's playlist family friendly.
I think there's a clean version. Skin out the good. Skin out the good.
Okay. Watch this one after 90. So yeah, obviously you lived in different countries. Just want to know, what's your favorite travel memory?
What's my favorite travel memory? It would definitely have to be, actually, the anniversary of it is today. This time last year, 2019, I was in Ibiza.
Oh, nice.
Living my best life, twerking on stage with Steph London. And that was my best vacation or trip memory, because Ibiza, magical things happen in Ibiza. Once you get to Ibiza, you get sucked in. It was just so much fun, so much heat, and just so much positive, like, inspirational energy. So that was really, really good.
Was it work or just fun, or like was it a mix of both and you were just working and having fun?
Yeah, it was supposed to be work, but it definitely turned into fun, especially when I missed my flight. So yeah, that definitely turned into fun.
Cool. So we're gonna wrap up real soon, but just before we do, we've got one more question. If you're gonna do the honors.
Okay. If your life was a TV show, what would your theme song be?
I love this question. This is so good. Can I get a beat?
You need to...
Oh wait. Oh, you mean I was gonna make my own theme tune right now? Or did you mean I was supposed to put everyone
a beat? Like, I thought she was a drum roll. I was gonna go.
I was like, give me a beat. Let's go. I'll sing my theme tune right now. But...
That's the DJ in you coming out.
Oh, you meant put a real song to my life. Okay, sorry, I get it now.
If you can quickly freestyle a thing, then maybe we can sing it.
Okay, let me think of a song. It would probably be a Drake song. Best I Ever Had by Drake. Yeah, that would be the theme tune, but obviously I'd have to spit some bars in there talking about self-love. You know I'm the best you never had, baby. Thanks, Emma. Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, Bami, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I'm missing. Can you guys send me some plantain waffles, please?
We'll see what we can do with international parcel force.
It might be a bit stale by the time it
gets. Well,
Canada, just 10 hours.
Fresh, but see what we can do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. We've learned so much, and I think you've given us all a lot of food for thought. So take care, and we'll hope you catch up soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.